So at the beginning of this episode, we see that Shimoga has set out to join the Zano sect. He is recalling the words spoken by Master Honki. He had said that the Zano sect is a prestigious and righteous clan. If you train there, your future will definitely be bright. And that's the reason why Shimoga, after a long journey, has set out towards the Zano sect. Whenever he got the chance along the way, he focused on his cultivation. He has only one goal: to quickly make himself powerful so that he can then go to the barbarian Forbidden Land. In that very Forbidden Land, he might find a way to remove the seal placed on his bloodline. Once Shimoga's bloodline seal is removed, his petrification disease will also vanish. He would have another chance at life. And after a long journey spanning many days, Shimoga finally reached a mountain. This was the very place from where the Zano sect recruited its new disciples. Shimoga saw that a large number of cultivators had already arrived there to join the Zano sect. From this, we can imagine just how prestigious the Zano sect must be. At the same time, we can see a flying carriage there, and an elder was checking the disciples using a mirror. Only those disciples who had the Zano sect's mark on their bodies were being allowed entry onto the carriage. But that elder noticed that Shimoga did not have any Zano sect mark on his body. He angrily said to Shimu, "Kid, you don't have any entry mark on your body at all. So how did you even dare to come here?" And just then, another elder arrived there. He ordered his friend to calm down. At the same time, he gently explained to Shimu that only those who have the Zano sect's entry mark on their left arm will be granted permission. So tell me, how did you get in here? Do you have a recommendation letter from someone? As soon as he heard this, Shimu immediately took out the token given by Master Honki. He said, "It was Master Honki of the Senior Mauin sect who recommended me. I have the recommendation letter and the Shianzi token that he gave me." Now, as soon as that elder saw the letter and token, he angrily sent Shimu to the carriage. Shimu was quite surprised by the elder's behavior and started thinking to himself that the Zano sect is supposed to be very respectable. Then how can they treat their new disciples like this? And just then the elder began his announcement. He was saying that all of you are the new disciples of our Zano sect. Therefore, I would like to tell you some rules. Actually, by using a spell, I will be able to operate this flying carriage. So I want all of you to quickly go into the cabin immediately. But until we finally reach our destination, none of you are to come outside for any reason. And if any of you dares to come out of the cabin, you will be very severely punished for your actions. Well, after hearing the elder's words, all the disciples were quite shocked. They couldn't understand why this person was speaking so rudely. And just then, that master started shouting at them loudly again. So all the disciples, out of fear, headed straight for the cabin. However, Shimu was still standing on the deck. He saw that the master was scolding all the disciples quite harshly. So he immediately went up to the master and said, "You want to cram all of us into a single cabin, but that will make it hard for us to breathe. So please, could you give us permission to come outside for a little while from time to time?" Well, two cultivators also overheard what Shimu was saying. They said that the master was extremely rude. But still, look at this boy's courage. He went straight up to him and started talking. He doesn't seem afraid at all that this man could get angry and throw him off the flying carriage. In fact, these two guys really liked Shimu's attitude. Meanwhile, that master started telling Shimu that he had been recommended by Master Honki of the Mauin sect. But that doesn't mean you can go around acting like a hero. That Mauin sect is absolutely nothing compared to our great sect. If you really want to join our Zano sect, you'll have to follow every single one of my strict orders. If I say you have to go to the cabin, then you must go immediately. Not only that, the master then angrily pushes Shimu backwards. Now, if Shimu wanted, he could have taught this master a good lesson. But he didn't do that. Because for him, joining the Zano sect is extremely important. That's why he immediately bowed his head in front of the master and left from there. As soon as Shimu leaves, another elder arrives there. He was telling his companion that this guy seems really sharp. I think he's starting to suspect us. To this, the elder said that it's good that the guy quietly left from here. Otherwise, I would have finished him right then and there. But Shimu is clever. He understood exactly what was best for him. And now that elder pulled out one of his scrolls and began channeling his true essence into it. In fact, the aura released from that scroll began to cast a powerful spell right there. And with the help of that spell, the flying carriage was activated. So in this way, their new journey for the Zano sect had begun. And now, we're shown a scene inside the cabin of the flying carriage, where all the cultivators were quite troubled. Some people started saying that the elder was extremely rude. But some people firmly believe that since they are significantly more powerful than us, maybe that's why the elders there are somewhat overly arrogant. Meanwhile, Shimu was sitting alone at a table, and just then, a girl came over to talk to him. She says to Shimu, "My name is Hanshi." She says, "I heard a little while ago you were recommended by Master Hang Yao." When Shimu replied yes, the girl immediately started talking to him in a friendly way. She added, "Your Kwankan pouch looks really special. I also had many such storage bags, but yours is the most special of all." So Shimu replied, "I don't think it's special at all. They said none." And just then, Hanshi asked Shimu a question. She asked, "Did Master Hang Yao also give you this storage bag as a gift?" To this, Shimu said, "I've had this storage bag for a very long time. Now I've even forgotten who gave me this storage bag." Actually, Shimu was getting suspicious of this woman, and that's why he didn't want to talk to her much. And just then, that rude elder arrived there. He started presenting all sorts of dishes in front of everyone. He was saying that our journey is going to be quite long and tiring. And that's why we've already prepared some food and cold drinks for you. So come on, enjoy this delicious meal of ours. As soon as he said this, the elder left from there. Well, at this point, Shimu remembers that just a little while ago, Master was chewing on dry bread. If they already had food, then why didn't he eat this food? And this realization made Shimu's suspicion even stronger than before. Hanshi was curiously asking him, "Aren't you going to eat anything?" So Shimu quickly took out the dry bread from his pouch. He said, "I brought my own food along so that I don't have to join the crowd." Hearing this, Hanshi tells him that he's really quite strange. There's such delicious food here, but still you're eating dry bread. And now, in just a little while, we see that everyone who ate the food has passed out. And at that moment, a guy named Baishi wakes up. Actually, he hadn't eaten the food at all. He started telling everyone, "Whoever among you is still conscious, please get up, I need to talk to you." As soon as they heard him, a few cultivators immediately got up. Actually, they were just pretending to be unconscious. They hadn't even touched the food. One of the women among them started saying that the elder's behavior was really quite strange. From the very beginning, I had a feeling that something was wrong here. At this, a guy named Xiaoming said, "Yes, I was suspicious of them too. I think they mixed something into our food so that we would be completely knocked out." And at that moment, Baishi said, "Now I'm completely sure that these people don't belong to the Janu sect. If we keep following them like this, our lives will definitely be in danger." Well, at this point, Shimu was listening to all their conversations with his eyes closed. When he was completely convinced that these people were also normal cultivators, he immediately opened his eyes. Meanwhile, Baishi was saying that for now, that elder thinks all of us have lost consciousness. That's why he won't keep a close watch on us. So this is our best chance to escape from here. The other captive agreed to this as well. She was saying that all of us have some kind of connection with the Janu sect. So we should quickly get out of this carriage and report to the Janu sect. But some people couldn't figure out how they would get down to the ground from such a height. None of them had reached a higher level of cultivation that would allow them to fly. They said there's a huge river below us, but we simply can't just jump into it like that. Since it's a shallow and rocky river, the risk of getting injured is much higher than we thought. At this, one person suggested, "Why don't we just take over the ship? After all, we have quite a few cultivators with us, so if we try, we can easily defeat those masters." And just then, Shimu started telling them, "I just want to warn you all. Don't make any mistakes, otherwise all of us will get into trouble. And besides, I don't think we can defeat that master." He was an extremely powerful person, but Shimu's words didn't sit well with one of the cultivators at all. He said, "In my opinion, you're a coward. But I'm definitely not someone who gives up easily. I'll find a way to escape from this cabin right now. Once we escape from this cabin, we'll launch a fierce attack against both of those masters." And as soon as he uttered those words, he attacked the floor with his knife. But the floor was extremely tough. As a matter of fact, it didn't even get a single visible scratch. Seeing this, one of the captives exclaimed in surprise that this is iron wood. This unique special wood is only found here on the remote Dicing Island. And according to legends, this iron wood cannot be broken. Hearing this, the man immediately went and attacked the main door. But that door was also made of iron wood. Just then, Beishi told him, "Please don't do things like this, otherwise that elder will find out." To these, the man replied that those people had locked this door, which means they plan to get rid of us. But it's okay, I'll open this door right now. And saying this, the cultivator sent his magical key outside the door. Here, using his true essence, the man immediately unlocks the lock mechanism there. But as soon as he opened the door, the master was already standing right in front of him. Now, before the man could say anything to him, the master directly hit him with a palm attack, and with just one strike from the master, the man died. Seeing this, the cultivators were extremely shocked, and at that moment, two cultivators, enraged, leapt straight at that elder. But even this was of no use, because in just 1 second, the elder grabbed both of them and crushed their skulls together, killing them. And now, the master began to tell everyone that perhaps they had already discovered the truth about them. We are not affiliated with the Xiano sect, nor do we have any desire to kill any of you. So simply cooperate and follow our orders. And then none of you will have to die. But just then, the carriage suddenly started to shake. Seeing this, that person immediately left from there. Simultaneously, he locked the door once again. Actually, Elder Zhao from the Xiano sect had arrived there. He started saying to that person, "You kidnapped the cultivators of our Xiano sect. Don't you think you've crossed all limits this time?" To this, that person replied, "Your Xiano sect isn't innocent either. You people have stolen the sacred spirit medicines of our black demon sect. So you can think of this as us simply returning the favor. You stole our spiritual herbs and we stole your disciples. Now we're even." Meanwhile, in the cabin, Baishi had overheard their entire conversation. He started telling his companions that the man was a member of the Black Demon sect. As soon as Xiaoming heard this, he was completely shocked. He says, "So those people are members of the demon sect. Maybe that's why their behavior was so dangerous." Meanwhile, Master Zhao was about to be attacked by a snake. But Master Zhao's defensive power instantly destroyed it. He started telling that man that the Black Demon sect really has no shame. "Come on, stop attacking with snakes and face me directly now." And just then, another member of the Black Demon sect also arrived there. Not only that, Elder Qianji from the Xiano sect also made his entrance there. As soon as he arrived on the scene, he quickly formed several daggers made of ice, and then those blade-like sharp ice crystals were sent flying straight to attack those cultivators. But both of them quickly activated their demonic technique and formed a powerful shield in front of themselves. However, due to Qianji's relentless attacks, cracks began to appear on their shield, and this offensive continued for quite some time. After that, Qianji finally shattered both of their shields. But this attack had a direct impact on the carriage. It was shaking quite violently. The carriage was no longer stable at all. As a result, all the cultivators started getting tossed around. But during this time, all the cultivators also began to support each other. Shimu was among them as well. He accidentally saved someone from dying. Because of this, a bit of friendship developed among them. So all of them started telling Shimu their names. One of them was Baishi, the second was Xiaoming, and the girl's name was Lanfeng. Meanwhile, outside the cabin, Master Zhao had completely overpowered that man. But just then, that man used iron wood to launch a snake attack on him. In this attack, Master Zhao was badly injured. By then, the other man had activated the power of one of his talismans to attack Qianji. As soon as he did that, a formidable skull appeared there. Well, this was called the bone-crushing soul technique. So to effectively counter his incoming attack, Qianji activated the falling blue star technique. As a result, a massive protective shield appeared there, which possesses both offensive and defensive abilities. And now, using its energy, the blue star began to directly attack the skull. Seeing this, even the demonic cultivator was a bit surprised. Now, upon witnessing this, his companion became extremely agitated. He was saying that maybe today we are going to lose this fight. But if we don't get this disciple, then you won't get him either. And as soon as he said this, that guy activated a demonic formation over the entire carriage. As soon as he did that, the flying carriage began to shake violently. At this point, Qianji understood that this guy wanted to kill all the disciples. So using his blue star energy, he immediately attacked that guy as well. As a result, that guy was injured and pushed backward. Not only that, Qianji also started relentlessly attacking his companion. The blue star energy began to severely damage that skull. As a result, that demonic cultivator was badly injured and started to fall down. But by then, his companion came and saved him. At the same time, the demonic formation he had created also deactivated on its own. And as soon as that happened, the flying carriage started falling straight down. So Qianji quickly rushed out to stop the carriage. Meanwhile, inside the cabin, all the disciples were in a panic. Shimu muttered to himself, I cannot die right here and now. This would be a truly shameful way to die. At that moment, Qianji saw that the flying carriage was about to crash straight into the river, and the river was quite shallow, so he immediately summoned and activated his Dharma form. At the same time, two massive, powerful hands emerged from the water and firmly grasped the carriage. In this way, Elder Qianji managed to save everyone just in time. After that, he opened the door of the cabin and immediately began telling all the cultivators that he was Elder Yu Qianji of the Xianwu sect. He told them to quickly give an elixir to everyone who had been rendered unconscious by the demonic cultivators. This would bring them back to consciousness. So everyone immediately began thanking Elder Qianji. However, Shimoga still suspected that the matter couldn't be resolved so quickly, and his intuition turned out to be absolutely correct. Because suddenly Elder Qianji started getting attacked. One of the desperate captives suddenly and forcefully pushed him straight out of the cabin. Here, Master Yu Qianji swiftly formed a powerful shield around himself. However, a highly poisonous snake easily destroyed his protective shield. He immediately realized who had carried out the attack. So he said, Jin Shaoji, come out quickly right now. Well, hearing this name, Shimoga was a bit surprised. He immediately checked the cabin because he suspected that whoever this person was, they were present in the first cabin. At the same time, Qianji destroyed that black demon serpent, and now we saw Jin Shaoji from the Black Demon sect. She said to Elder Qianji, It's a pleasure to meet you. I've actually heard a lot of praise about you. You're considered a genius elder of the Jianwu sect who is about to reach the moon ranking soon. To tell you the truth, we actually had to put in quite a bit of effort to force you to come here. To this, Qianji replied, You know very well that you won't be able to defeat me easily. Then the woman released her poisonous whip and said, We'll only find out after our battle. And with that, a fierce fight broke out between the two of them. Here, Jin Shaoji was relentlessly attacking him with her whip, while Qianji was swiftly counterattacking using his shuriken sigil. But he noticed that Shaoji's speed was truly and highly impressive, so he activated another one of his powerful techniques. This formidable weapon was known as the Star Trident, and now thousands upon thousands of these deadly star weapons began advancing rapidly toward Shaoji. But that girl quickly used her glowing whip to clear a wide path for herself. She was easily destroying every single weapon Yu Qianji threw at her, which clearly shows just how exceptionally well prepared she had come in this battle. And now, activating her defensive energy, she gets close to Qianji. Well, here there was a powerful clash between the two's immense powers, in which Qianji overpowered Jin Shaoji and pushed her back. Not only that, his aqua flow had gotten close enough to directly attack her body. Seeing this, Jin Shaoji started to run away from there. But in the blink of an eye, the whole place started to look like an ocean. Yu Qianji had completely surrounded Shaoji from all sides. Well, Qianji's powerful technique was called Flip the Heaven, which looked extremely impressive. But Shaoji was certainly not going to fall into Master Yu Qianji's grasp so easily. She immediately used her deadly poisonous whip to attack him. At this point, Yu Qianji's full attention shifted to her whip. He started moving here and there, countering each of her attacks. As a result, his Flip the Heaven technique was deactivated, and taking advantage of this opportunity, Shaoji restrained Qianji. Not only that, she began launching several dangerous attacks on him with the help of her whip. Yu Qianji was badly injured and thrown directly onto a mountain. Meanwhile, Master Zhao also set out to help them. But just then, that demonic cultivator arrived and landed a powerful punch on him. At the same time, Yu Qianji once again went to face Jin Shaoji. He had created two truly gigantic hands. As soon as Jin Shaoji saw this, she panicked a lot, and now those giant hands started punching Jin Shaoji repeatedly. Using these powerful attacks, Yu Qianji established his dominance over Jin Shaoji. Well, this girl didn't even have enough ability left to defend against Yu Qianji's attack. But just then, something went wrong. Actually, Yu Qianji had used up a lot of his spiritual power. As a result, he suffered internal damage, and taking advantage of this opportunity, Jin Shaoji attacked him from behind. And now, she started relentlessly beating up Yu Qianji in a very fierce manner. Because of this, he was injured and ended up directly on the flying carriage. Here he was telling Master Zhao that these people had used poison on them. Just then, Master Zhao arrived there to save them. He had successfully formed a protective shield there, which Jin Shaoji tried to shatter by using her powerful whip. Yu Qianji understood that he was already critically injured by the poison, and Master Zhao was also very seriously hurt. That means even together, the two of them couldn't stand up to this captive. So using a powerful artifact, he immediately took Master Zhao and escaped from that place. Seeing them fleeing the scene, Jin Shaoji said, "I really thought you were someone special. I think you should come back after healing your injuries." Meanwhile, Shimoga was quite amazed after seeing Jin Shaoji's powers. He also wants to become that powerful, and that's exactly why he wanted to join the Xianwu sect. But for now, luck is not on his side at all. And now, after locking all the cultivators in the cabin, Jin Shaoji arrives there. Both of those guys started thanking their elder. They were saying that if you hadn't come here, we probably wouldn't have been able to defeat that Yu Chenji. Anyway, since our black demon serpent bit that guy, his cultivation will be completely and utterly destroyed. To this, Jin Shaoji said, "Now don't cause any more trouble. I want you to quickly take all these cultivators to the black demon sect," and with those words, she vanished from there. At the same time, that demonic cultivator went into the cabin and told everyone that you all will now have to join our black demon sect, and whoever refuses will be killed. Well, all these cultivators were completely trapped. Every one of them would be forced to become part of the Black Demon sect. Meanwhile, Hansi goes to have a word with Shimu. She was saying that the Xianwu sect turned out to be really weak. Now because of their failure, we have to join a demonic sect. Well, Shimu started to get very suspicious of this girl. He tells her that when we were attacked, I didn't see you anywhere. Tell me, where were you? So Han Shi, making excuses, started saying that those demonic cultivators had captured her. But from her behavior, it didn't seem at all like Hansi was telling the truth. Meanwhile, the other cultivators started discussing. They say that the Black Demon sect is extremely terrifying. Only the strongest can survive there. Whoever is more powerful will get a lot of resources. Well, after hearing all this, Shimu became even more worried. The seal placed on his bloodline could only create more problems for him. And finally, they arrived in front of the Black Demon sect. With this, the episode ends here. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. Take care.